Alrighty, looks like today we have adventures. What's happening here? For draw, we got Ranger, Gear, Magpie if it connects with a treasure, and then Page can advance the line, and the third card in the Page line is a draw card. For villages, we've got Ports, Lost Arts, and Champion eventually is just unlimited actions. Trashing, Transmogrify, Amulet Raise, plus buy, Ranger for buys, Duplicate can gain things as can Transmogrify. Okay. So where's this headed? My first thought is that getting to champion ASAP does not seem like the most important thing. You're not struggling for actions. Port's a really efficient village, as is Lost Arts. I think probably a higher priority is, for example, getting Lost Arts on Ranger looks pretty good, and then a stack of Rangers. You might want champion eventually, just because some warriors could really eat through this deck. Almost every one of the important cards costs 3 or 4, and so you may eventually need champion just to block the warrior attack. How to open? Unsure. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that looks viable here. Most of the cards look pretty good, and the order of priorities is far from obvious to me. On 4, I think Transmogrify and Magpie both look good. Transmogrify is good at killing estates. There's good stuff you want to gain. Magpie tends to snowball, so you often want it early. I think I'm leaning towards Transmogrify there. On 3, you could get started on Page. Pretty frequently you want to open with Page, like, I don't know, 80-90% of the time. Here I could see delaying it if something else is higher priority, again, because I don't think getting a champion is the most important thing. I get the opening with Gear or Amulet. Even just like Page plus Gear is a good way to get the Page line going. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I'm settled on Transmogrify. I think that looks good here. I think Gear, Amulet, and Page. Even Raise looks fine. Probably Raise is the worst of them. If I wanted to Raise, it'd probably be Magpie plus Raise, because Raise and Transmogrify are both trying to kill the estates. So I think Page, Gear, Amulet. I think I just want Page anyway. And then probably I can Transmogrify estate into an Amulet to start getting the coppers. Second Transmogrify, I think. I suppose this is the second Page. It's hard to go too. Like, there's cards here that are low impact. Like, I don't think Caravan Guard is an inoffensive card, but it is also a fairly weak card. I think that doesn't look terribly good here. And Duplicate, I think, seems weak, at least early in the game, when you don't need the gains very much. But most of these other cards, I think, if you click them, you can't go too wrong. Trash and take a third Page. I would like to at least have the threat of being able to do the stack of warriors if the bot doesn't get to champion quickly. I think the bot often is a little bit lackadaisical without playing with the Page line. Alright. Be a Gear or a second Amulet. I think I prefer the second Amulet. Goodbye estate. Really wanted the amulets to trash the coppers, but so be it. Yeah, okay. The warrior is pretty dang nasty here. That was brutal. I'm sorry, Hardbot. What do I want now? I still don't have any Rangers yet. I don't really have too much of a terminal collision concern, right? I was thinking about ports, but these pages aren't to warrior yet. This is going to be a hero shortly. I'm going to have some amulets in the deck, but there's not that many terminals. Port could still be the right answer. I haven't gotten Magpie yet, and I should probably do that as well. There's so many cards that I want, and I'm unsure which ones are most important. I'm gonna go and take ports. And I'll happily take silver for something more useful. This is probably Magpie. Can't take a terminal because I got to play the amulet. I think I'm leaning towards Magpie. Not a bad starting. Oh, that's a lot of silvers. Well, maybe I'm just transmogrifying this treasure hunter. Then I do not want 5 silvers. I do not want 5 silvers one bit. All right, you're gonna become a ranger now. Trench and oh, that's interesting. I don't know if I want to do it. I just noticed the ranger plus pilgrimage interaction. They both use the journey token. Oops, I did not mean to click that. I was trying to right click it. Third time's the charm. There's pilgrimage. So there's only the one journey token, and there's 3 total cards in Dominion, all from adventures that interact with it. So I think it's 3: pilgrimage, ranger, and giant. And so they're using the same token. So if I play ranger, which I did, and flip the token down, and then I buy pilgrimage, I gain 3 cards. The trouble is now the token's back up, and I kind of want to use the token for draw with ranger. I mean, gaining 3 things sounds pretty good too. I think I'm feeling greedy. Ooh, well, bot got payback. Goodbye, ranger. So I should just click some more draw. And, oh, darn it. I was looking forward to transmogrifying the ports because I'm not going to need them with the champion down. But all my transmogrifiers are in my hand. Another page, I think. And I need another ranger. I really want these ports to end up in my starting hand because they're great targets for transmogrify now. I want to hold off on playing the warrior as long as possible because it gets buffed by each traveler in play. So if I can play my treasure hunter and my page first, I get a bigger attack out of it. The bot just has 1,000,000 coppers. Take 2. That's a bit better. Yeah. Set that token down. Guess I'm taking a free silver here because I appear to be able to draw it. And I think I can safely do this. In general with Ranger, you really want to have the token face down going into the next turn. Because it means the first Ranger you find draws you 5 cards. Whereas if your token is face up, you have to line up 2 Rangers in your hand before you kick off. Oh, I'm actually kind of low on buys. Anyways, I was thinking that's less of a concern because I have the transmogrifies down, so I can just transmogrify a bunch of silvers into my in my starting hand to guarantee I have a ranger. And then the dud concern is less of an issue. I should probably just start scoring here. The bot has transmogrify, and transmogrify is good at lowering the province pile because you can turn province into province. And just given the low buys, I think this is going to be double province and a ranger. Maybe just a pilgrimage for the reason I suggested earlier. Is there other stuff I want to gain? I guess I'll take a ranger, maybe a gold and gear. Can't get a warrior because it's not in the supply. Maybe this should just be another ranger. And leave that token down. Okay, I see 2 ports. Do not mind killing those. How are piles looking? Magpie's going to empty itself, most likely. Ranger is low, but I'm not seeing the 3rd pile. At least not that the bot can do. Maybe with the amount of rangers I've got, estates could become a threat soon. Goodbye, Rangers. Goodbye, Magpie. Alright, bot's running out of 3-cost cards to trash. Anyways, is this a win? This smells like a win. Oh yeah, this is just a win on provinces. Okay. Yeah, the bot really didn't go for the warriors, so my champion probably wasn't necessary. But like, imagine the bot were doing what I was doing and had a bunch of warriors ready to go. Then I think you need the champion really fast. Otherwise, just some pages plus some warriors. You could trash most of this deck in one turn just by chaining those together. And so I think optimal play probably requires you to get a champion just to play on the warrior stack. But maybe versus Hardbot, who doesn't tend to do that, the champion is less necessary. The villages are actually also kind of useful. Like I could have gotten by just buying Lost Arts and putting on a ranger, but I don't mind the champion's village effect as well. Aside from that, still a little bit unsure as to what cards to click in what order. All the stuff looks good. The bot, I mean, the biggest thing that jumps out to me is the bot just seems to have underbuilt a bit. I think you could get by with less thinning and just clicking a lot of the draw if you just buy a ton of rangers, put Lost Arts on them early, and then like the lack of copper trashing isn't the problem on its own, but it's also just kind of low on the other stuff. I know the ranger got trashed by the warrior, but it was also I think a little bit underbuilt from the get-go, and I don't know why on earth it has a caravan guard.